Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Kathy's Corner, Seed in the Sand, and this is chapter 3 of Be Not Afraid. Do it anyway, or do it anyway, be not afraid. And what I wanted to talk to you today about was I was thinking about when my kids were young, and I was in the middle of a battle with a special ed director where he said, we're just standing our ground and we have, I've said this before, this, room full of teachers and professionals and administrators that are all on the same page, and we all feel that this is how it's going to be and this is what we have. And it was kind of like a brick wall. That I felt like it was a brick wall that I had to say, I'm trying to help my child. I'm trying to, help her by getting through this brick wall and understanding her needs as high functioning autism, where it's more social, it's more abstract, it's not so concrete, it's not so black and white, it's not so, you know, data involved. It's more comprehensive and, trying to understand each other a little bit better for her sake. And I'm just remembering how hard of a struggle that was for me to stand alone. I didn't even have my spouse at the time by my side. I was standing alone for all of this. And I wish I would have had these words when I was doing that battle. I felt like it was a battle with the school district. It shouldn't be a battle. It should be collaboration. It should be working together. It should be back and forth. It should be negotiations. It should be all kinds of words. And it kind of feels like our country is in the same boat right now, where it's not meshing, and we're not working together. We're not collaborating with each other. It's more like, nope, this is how it is, and whoever's on this side all by themselves are going, oh my gosh, how am I gonna, what am I gonna do here? And you do see it as a fight because you're being shut down, you're being silenced, and but in my case, I wasn't, I was afraid, but I did it anyway, knowing that eventually something was going to happen, and something did happen. I did get very sick and cracked and had things happen that were very bad for myself and for my family and for society. And it left me with a charge that said, you are guilty but not guilty due to mental disease or defect. And to me, that's like a lifetime sentence. That's like an umbrella of, she's dangerous, be careful, never let her have anything weapon wise for the rest of her life. Put this little umbrella over her head and we'll just keep her safe by putting her, binds on, by binding her together with this charge for the rest of her life. And it's hard. It's difficult. It's. I don't even know how to explain it. You want to say you're free, but are you free? Are you ever free? Because you'll always have people that say, oh, what if, what if, what if, what if, what if, what if, what if? And you're always going to have people that say, she might, she might, she might, she might. And, I'm thinking of different people in society. Not a lot, I don't know if there's a lot of women in my case, but there's a lot of men that, they do really bad things. I'm thinking of firefighters in Idaho, I believe, and they were set up. They were ambushed. They were. I mean, that was an intentional harm to those men and they were killed. And for what? For what reason? It didn't make sense. And there's a difference. There's a difference between somebody that like intends to cause harm to others, and somebody like me who is just like trying so desperately to keep it all together, and it's all just meshing, not meshing together, and I'm falling apart. And so there's a big difference between the two, and we shouldn't be lumped together as one. And so I hope that made sense today. I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but I guess the point of it is to say, back then, I'm glad I did what I did, and I fought. It shouldn't have been a fight, but I fought. And I shouldn't have cracked, but I cracked. And I shouldn't have this umbrella over my head, but I do. And now I'm trying desperately to get this movement that says, I am not alone. You are not alone. We are not alone. We are in this together. And now we're we're living in a country where it feels as if this is happening on a global scale. And, we're, over here, and you have this like entity that says no. And you have to try to break through that wall. It's very difficult to do. You need God's help. Honest to God. You need God's help. And there are David and Goliath stories out there in real life. And I hope that I'm one of them by starting this movement that says, I am capable of doing this. I am strong. And you are strong. And we are together stronger than we know. And we're going to get through this. And we're going to do it anyway. And we're going to do it afraid. But we're going to still do it. So, all right. These are the classic tarot cards. I pick one for the past, one for the present, and one for the future. All right. So we have the Moon card for the past. Major Arcana card. There's some dogs and a crab, and they're all kind of howling at the moon. And it's that intrigue, that mystery, that all kinds of things that happen with the moon we don't understand. All right, and then the present is the Ace of Swords. Just cutting right through that tape, cutting right through that itch, cutting right through that baloney. So, all right. And the third card is the King of Swords. And that's another card where it's kind of like a father figure that is just cutting right through all that mystery, all that all those things that we don't understand. And yeah, so I'm going to pick one more card, try to get a Major Arcana card. And the Death card, that's the transition card. With every end comes a new beginning, a new transformation. So, all right. And then these are the Healing Spirit cards by Gordon Smith. And the intention I'm setting with this card today is finding our way. Getting through the red tape, getting through the baloney, the getting through, what other people set before us. All right. And it says life lessons again. It looks like this. And okay, life lessons again. You might grow and find that there is no actual right or wrong in this world, and that everything happens in order for a lesson to be learned. Now is a good time to remember that your spirit guide is helping you to understand your own life lessons, and will soon come to know why you chose them this time around. You may wonder why you have given yourself such difficult tasks, but once you understand your lessons, you won't have to learn them again. Also, by learning them, you will give yourself power over the rest of your life. Well, that's a card I haven't gotten before. That was a really nice card. That, it might seem difficult, it might seem challenging and too hard, but they're lessons that we won't have to relive, which is beautiful. This movement that I'm trying to begin, with your help, of course, is that we're not alone. No one should ever feel all alone. And we are in this together. And this is a movement. And this is a lesson that we have to learn. That no one should be left alone. So, all right. I wish everybody a beautiful day, and we will chat with you tomorrow.